All right, so this is the media and my life. So when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of Blue's Clues. I think that was 100% my favorite thing ever. And on Saturday mornings, I would take my little VCR tapes and stick them into our VCR player and watch Blue's Clues if it wasn't on TV, because I loved it that much. Also on Saturday mornings, I would get up, I would sit at our computer, and I would eat my little bowl of Cheerios or Frosted Flakes, and I would play this little Dr. Seuss interactive ABC game. It was really fun. It was on a CD-ROM, and it would take you through the alphabet, and it was all interactive, and it was probably one of my favorite games. I was also a huge NSYNC fan when I was a kid. I had CDs of NSYNC, Britney Spears, Hilary Duff, and I would put them in my little boombox, and I would jam out in my room. Also, like every other 90s baby, I was really into Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network cartoons. I also liked Disney Channel too, don't get me wrong, I really liked Lizzie McGuire, but Nickelodeon was probably my favorite. Rugrats was my favorite show on Nickelodeon, and the Powerpuff Girls were my favorite on Cartoon Network, and I thought I was going to be Blossom when I grew up. Still hasn't happened, I don't have laser eyes, but who knows, maybe. I'm still hoping. So now it's a little different. With the introduction of streaming services like Netflix and Hulu, that's primarily what I watch. I don't have cable, and I don't ever watch cable unless I go to my parents' house because they have cable, and I don't want to pay for it. So I take the Netflix and Hulu route, and I like that it's original and you don't have to deal with commercials, which is pretty cool. I also traded in my CDs and my boombox for Spotify. I love Spotify. Play wherever you go, and it stores your music and gives you like a playback of the year, and I think that's really awesome. I also really, really love memes. If I could describe myself in a meme, I think it would be Elmo on fire. I'm cute, but I will raise hell if I need to. So, Elmo on fire. I was also a huge Sesame Street kid too, so I think that's part of the reason. And the internet is super cool. I also traded in my CD-ROMs and my floppy disks for Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. If you want to follow me, it's at Mallory the Tiny. You don't have to. I'm just throwing that out there. I also really love my website. I absolutely love Squarespace and the fact that there's so many templates that you can choose from, and it's super easy to use, and I'm always adding to and updating and changing my portfolio, and I think it's really an awesome way to get me connected with professionals, and I think that's really awesome. So if you'd like to check out my website, please do. I would really appreciate it. That'd be really cool. Other media is really cool too. I love books. I'm an avid book reader. My favorite book for the longest time has been Rose Under Fire. If you like Holocaust type books, that's what it's centered around. It's fictional. It's not a memoir or anything, but it's an awesome book, and I would highly recommend it. I also really like The Handmaid's Tale. I would say that's my favorite TV show. It's gruesome, I will tell you that, but 10 out of 10 would recommend. I also really love the Beatles. I've loved the Beatles ever since I was a kid. I love every album, every song. Okay, well, maybe not every song, but every album, and I just love listening to the progression of their music from when they first started out until the end of their time, and I think they're all amazing. I also really like magazines, too. Darling Magazine, The Art of Being a Woman, is probably my favorite. It's a women's feminism fashion magazine. It's very different from Cosmo or Good Housekeeping, where like they give you tips on stuff, whereas this is a lot of photography, and it's a lot of stories and like women's empowerment, and so I would highly recommend. You can check them out online, but they do have actual issues that come out, and I would highly recommend it. My favorite movie, however, is The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. It's about two badass women, and I think it is the most hilarious movie I have ever seen. I would highly recommend it. If I wanted somebody to play me in a movie, I think it'd be Melissa McCarthy, to be honest. So my inspiration, I am inspired daily by strong, powerful women. May we know them, may we be them, may we look up to them. I especially look up to Maya Angelou. She said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." And I wholeheartedly agree with that. I try to live my life with as much passion and compassion as possible. And you know, you gotta have fun with it and be stylish at the same time. So shout out to you, Maya. I'm also inspired daily by my camera. I have never felt more alive and exhilarated than when I am behind a camera lens, and I absolutely love what I do. This woman right here is a total badass. Her name is Helen Richardson, and she is a photojournalist with the Denver Post. I had the amazing opportunity of getting to hear her speak and see her at the Image Deconstructed this last April in Denver, and she inspires me daily. She inspires me to be a better photographer. I'm also inspired by Rupi Kaur. We all move forward when we recognize how resilient and striking the women around us are, and I'm also really inspired by the book I Am Her Tribe. So I think my biggest inspiration are amazing women in the world. And I hope I'm even half as cool as Maya Angelou or Helen Richardson. So that's the end of that. That's my media consumption and my life.